tell you, did I? And if people think that we're going to stop fighting for our freedom and liberty, they got something coming. Well, that was just hot. Welcome tonight live on Stand Up, Stand Out America. Joining me today is a dear friend, Edwin Gonzales out of Arizona, with yours truly, La Conservadora Tejana, Bianca, Gracia. Welcome tonight to our podcast. Guys, I'm so glad this is going to come in hot. I am excited that I finally got Edwin live with me tonight. So, Edwin, welcome to Stand Up, Stand Out America. How are you, brother?
Good. I'm excited, and I'm always excited. I just want to get things rolling, especially here in the state of Arizona. So
listen, look at my shirt. Says "Go ruin someone else's day." Go ruin someone else's day. Yeah, not my day. Go ruin someone else's day. So you heard in my video right now, my intro, I'm firing it up, and I'm like, we're gonna fight for freedom and liberty. I am referencing to the not a woke Latino community, to the awakened Latino community. I am talking about Latinos being at the forefront, fighting for freedom and liberty, standing up, taking places as precinct chair, running for state house, running for state senate, running for Congress, running for the dog catcher, running for county clerk. We have got to run for everything. We've got to take our positions, because let me tell you something. We need people with a backbone to fight for this country. That's what we need. And this the D and the R and all that crazy stuff, the platform over the D, we don't align with. The people on the R, have the platform, but it's corrupted system. And a lot of our Latinos tell us, the Republicans, man, they don't have a backbone. Well, let me tell you something. They are going to have a backbone now, because the Latinos are coming. The Latinos are at right now. So, Edwin, you tell our audience a little bit about you and what got you involved, number one, and then where you're at, and we'll start with that right now. And just to let you know, we're live on Getter, on YouTube, on not Instagram, but on Facebook and on Twitter and on Rumble. And so guys, we are, and on Patriot TV Live. We are also, we stream over to Patriot TV Live as well. So, Edwin, tell us a little bit about yourself and what even been involved in politics all your life, or tell us a little bit about.
Cool. Well, again, my name is Edwin Gonzales. I am from Mesa, Arizona. I was born and raised in a Christian family. I'm the baby of 7 siblings. Our upbringings here in just here in the United States was very patriotic. My grandfather, my abuelito Manuel, served in World War II, and a lot of my relatives on my mother's side all engaged the war, because they were given an opportunity to serve in the U.S. Army to become U.S. citizen. So that was a huge thing that my family on my mother's side did for a lot of us on that side to become American citizen. Now, my father, he's Tejano. He's from Texas. I don't want to go too much in detail. I don't want to go too much in detail unless you approach me in person. But my if you see my last name is Gonzales. You know the history of Gonzales there in Texas.
Oh yeah, come and take it, baby.
Come and take it. And the origins of my family we're very, like, even though like my dad, he was a evangelist, he was like almost like our pastor growing up. Really? He had us with not just the gospel, but to be very well rounded with telling the truth and to stand firm no matter what it is. And same with my mother, right? My mother, she's a small lady, yaki lady, but she will tell you the truth, and then she will make you feel bad, just like any other truth. But she would just say, "Hey, mijo, come over here and sit down and eat," like just like any other mother, loving mother. so long story short, um, growing up here in Mesa is pretty conservative, and it is falling. But I'll get back to the back and forth with my hometown. Um, the last about 3.5 years or so, I got very emotional, just like everybody else, with what's going on in the country, and so I gave it a shot, and I saw a lot of people, some people posting about the Latinos for Trump here in Phoenix, and that's kind of like small world because we both know Natalia,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
and she's the red pill Latina.
That's
She's
right.
an amazing influencer out there, but I got to have the privilege to work side by side with her here in South Phoenix, which is pretty dominant raza,
Oh yeah.
the barrio, the
Oh yeah.
ghetto, the project, whatever you want to. That's a huge minority area,
Yeah.
and
Right.
so getting out there, it's basically putting my as goofy as it sounds, it's like put your money where your mouth is kind of thing, but in the
Yeah.
political realm.
That's
Like
right.
stop typing and being a keyboard warrior.
Warriors. The keyboard warriors.
uh, that's where I said, you know what, I need to invest my time, what's going on, and amplify what my parents, my morals that came from my parents, uh, to go out and actually just talk to people, basically talk to people. And again, even with my upbringing, I grew up again in a Christian family where it developed areas where I would also go and evangelize like my dad, and I would do missions and door knocking. So when an opportunity for me to come and get involved in politics, people would ask me, it's like, how do you talk to people, man? How do you do this? How do you do that? So easily. The only difference is that instead of being in the political realm, we're door knocking for the gospel,
That's right.
and that's the bonus thing here too with what's going on right here, is that I get to do both. People say, oh, be careful and don't bring, church and state together and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
It's like, absolutely not. Like,
Yep. It
that's,
goes
that's,
hand in hand.
and if you look at the history of all this stuff, that government put their foot in, their fingers in the church. And sadly, it basically paid people off to not, represent in
To
there.
silence them. To
To
silence
silence
them.
them. Yeah.
When this country was built on Judeo-Christian, the people who
Yeah.
fled, those dictatorship communities or countries, I should say, that fled to come to the United States were running away because they wanted to have religious liberty. So
Yeah.
that's why the founding fathers of our Constitution made sure that they wrote a constitution that was going to protect us against people coming after our religious beliefs. And that's the
Right.
very thing that we are fighting for right now. So you're exactly right. I mean, they go hand in hand. This country was built on Judeo-Christian values and principles. So you
Right.
can't say that politics has nothing to do with government or God. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do. They
Right.
have everything to do with it.
Right. So even in that, like, and I heard this once from one of my other brothers. All my brothers are very, very heavily involved with American studies, like American history, and they would refer this line all the time with saying our ancestors, right? Not just like my parents, but every ancestor here prayed for us, dude. They were putting God.
Yeah.
There were like when they were going through true troubled times, not like, even though yes, we're going through it now, but just imagine where they were at, right? And that's the
Mhm.
reason why God blessed them tremendously, where they put us to where we're at now, that we're too blessed. And we got too comfortable where, you know, um I'm tired. I'm just tired of what's going on and not saying anything. And I know just by reading the Bible is that we have It is our opportunity, not our opportunity. It is our job. It is our duty to fight for the innocent,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
and we see so many people, and I can't be the person that says, all the church, my church, nobody's church. That's true that they're not doing anything, but I have responsibility of myself to
Yes.
go and speak up and do something
Yes.
about it.
That's
And
right.
just throughout the whole entire the Bible, it only took one person to speak up and to change nations. It changed all these other people to become a slave, and Egypt to be a slave there and to come out of it. Dude, we're so comfortable with one.
Mhm.
We're so
Oh
lazy.
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
so we're so comfortable with, even now, with seeing all this trash going on.
It's complacency.
We just need to we need to do something. And I was like, you know what, even though I'm the youngest one, I'm the baby, el bebito.
De la familia.
um I wanted to say, you know what, aquí estoy, right here. Here, my Lord, pick me because nobody else is doing it. And I'm saying this because um, somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. And I fully agree with this. I worked with several representatives that became that actually won in their seats and stuff, and they're currently representatives of the state of Arizona. But we're supposed to, just like our ancestors, just like our founding fathers of this country. They went in, they sacrificed their lives. They were only there for a season, right? And they went back to their career jobs, right? They went back to whatever job that they did. I'm okay with passing the baton. Ministry has always been like that as well. I'm okay to build up somebody to have that skill, that knowledge to progress. I'm for the short term limits to that. We're only there to do what we're supposed to do, our assignment, just like a mission. I was
Yeah.
only there to serve the gospel and to move on. That's it.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that even now. But somebody has to do it though. So
I hear
I'm
you.
tired, man.
You're tired. No, listen, this is good news. I think I've seen you through Instagram. You've been outspoken, and then to have met you in December out at Amfest and finally meet you in person, I was like, oh my God, you're the guy from. I mean, I remember you doing videos, and then we had our common friends, Natalia, who lived out there, but now I get Natalia. Natalia is now down the street from me. She's about 20 minutes from me now. So I get Natalia. I told her yesterday, I said, are you ready to get into some trouble, sister? And she's like, yes. So yeah, so we're going to definitely start working the ground here and doing things here where we're in our current area. But, I couldn't be more proud to know that, I've been speaking with Latinos across the country, all over the country. We got a
Mhm.
girl, Sandra, who's leading Hispanic Republicans out of Florida, and se está moviendo. She's moving. She's all about educating. We got
Yeah.
Meta Sisters out in New York. They're out there, what they're doing is the way they feel that they're contributing is they're, outreaching and trying to educate, but they're also podcasters. They want to try to get the message out. They want to try to, educate people. And so the Meta Sisters are out in New York doing their thing. We've got just, Socorro out in California. We've got Cynthia Kaya in California. We've got, girl named Lupe, you got the Lexit group that's very active in the LA and California area. And, you got so many Latinos across the country
Mhm.
that are really just rising up and taking their place. I watch, Congresswoman Ana Paulina, she's now in Congress and she's like, I mean,
Yeah.
she's sharp, man. She's sharp. She's getting it. She's like, she's no nonsense. She's like, I'm here to take care a business and this is what I'm doing. She's not over there curling her hair and looking pretty and waving at the camera, right? You know, like these Latinas get all starstruck. They're like, oh my God, look at me. She's literally conducting. And you know what? This is the thing with Latinos in the Latino community. A lot of Latinos get into a position, right? Y luego se les va la cabeza. They get, you know, all whatever. And then they forget. They kind of forget, that's right? True. And so Ana Paulina's really leading right here, right now. We're watching a woman at the forefront in Congress, and she, Edwin, is business. She's not there because hi everybody, hi, I'm pretty over here, look at me. No, she's like, I'm passing a bill, I'm getting something co-sponsored. She's speaking out, she's calling out Twitter, she's on a committee, she's out in her, you see that she goes back home into Florida, and what do you see? She's on the ground talking to her voters. She's talking to her voters. She's attending things. You know, she's business. It's turned into it's one thing, and now we're going to handle business. That's what the Latino community needs. You got another one that's Carolina Amnesty out of the House Rep. She's a House Rep now in Florida. First time serving. I mean, they elected this Latina woman again, you know, handling her business, representing her community, you know, fighting for the values and the principles that we believe in. And this is where you're at now in Arizona. You're going to do the same thing. You're like, hey, I'm not going to just talk about it, make an Instagram video about it. You're going to put your name and join the game. That's what you're going to do. Right. It's time. Like you said, hey, you got to put your money where your mouth is, right? You can talk, but you got to take action. And so, you know, Edwin, I just love seeing this, the Latino movement. I just love it. I keep saying, you know, somos el movimiento de la gente. That's our Latinos for America First. That is our motto. We got to stand up and stand out porque somos el movimiento de la gente. I really believe that it is Latinos like us that are at the forefront, and we are the ones that are gonna break. We're what I always say this. We are game changers and history makers. That's it.
That's right.
Nonsense. We're going to go, we're going to fight for what we believe in. We're going to fight for the innocent. We're going to fight for the unborn. We're going to fight for our communities. We're going to fight for our small businesses. We don't want government telling us what we can and cannot do, you know, that we can't open up our business, that we got to shut down, that we got to wear a mask. We don't want, you know, the government to tell us that we can't have a gun if we want to own a gun and defend ourselves. We don't want the government in every single aspect of our lives. We have freedoms and liberties in this country, and we need to defend them. We have a constitution, and we need to honor that constitution. You know, just like we honor the Bible because it is a living word. That is the same thing. The Bible and the Constitution. This is it. That's what makes America. Bible, Constitution. That's it. All foundations are Bible, Constitution. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing about your feelings. My feelings got hurt. I don't like that. Oh, I don't want to be a girl anymore. I want to be a boy. Listen, it's Bible and Constitution. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think the Latinos are going to be the ones that are at the forefront of all of this. So tell us a little bit now about you know, done some activism work. You've done some grassroots work. You love the Lord, and you feel now you want to run for LD in Arizona. Tell us what that job is, and tell us, you know, right now, is there someone in that position? Are they Democrat, Republican? Is it a Democrat or Republican stronghold? And what is it that you're looking to accomplish that the person sitting in there right now isn't doing for your community?
Yeah. So right now we have 3 representatives here in my district, which is 2 legislators, which is the House, and 1 is a state senator. All 3 of them are Democrat. And what I've seen here in my district, which is Mesa, Arizona, is about 5 years ago, we were in the number 1 position, number 1 city in the nation to be conservative. Now, did you hear what I mentioned? 3 of those positions are Democrat. So what we did too is that, which you might have seen in the news, that we've been fighting like crazy here in the state of Arizona. We had guys and women here that and I don't like using the political terms because they're just funky. But lying, mentirosos, that they said they were a part of they were part of the party, but all you know that they were just there just to collect a check. And we know that the left already corrupted, but here's the thing, that they allow things to happen on purpose, right? That they will get elected and not do anything. They will not represent. They will not be. They won't be in person. Like for example, there's guys that I've worked with, which got me thinking. You know what? I do outreach. I do evangelism. People see me all the time. These representatives that I got to have the privilege of working with, they do the same thing, but yet they're representatives here in the state of Arizona. And I was like, you know what? I need to not just do the same thing, but actually show now that when instead of again doing the just talking part, put it in action. And this is a thing that I'm honored and excited. I'm already speaking forward like if I was already in that position.
Amen.
And not only that I'm going to say that I'm in that position, but I'll see you on the street. Not to throw these. I'm going to be right next to you, cleaning up your yard, just cleaning up. I'm when people think of labor work, to other people they think it is work. Of course, you get tired, but for me, I grew up in it. I grew up doing all that kind of stuff where for me I'm not saying it's fun, but there's those moments where I had times where I was with my mother out doing gardening with my mother, doing weeds, and my mother would be smiling, right? And that same metaphor, I want to do that with the people, weeding out the stuff that all the stupid issues that we have, things that people don't care about. The barrios could look nice too, right? The places around here could look nice.
Infrastructure.
But once you give pride back to a person, just like myself, if I didn't have those key teachers that I had growing up, just those small ones that would say, "Hey, Edwin, you could be good at debating, Edwin. You are good at debating because that's all you do." Like, because if it wasn't for them, they planted seeds in my life to where I'm at too right now. I mean, there's a lot of other people who are part of it, but I want to use those things, and I'm sure that even right now, that as we speak, I'm pretty sure there's even moments where even throughout your day, you're like, man, I did this. I did this job the other day and I was bitter about it, right? And you're like, man, estoy cansado. I'm tired. Why am I doing it? And then by the time you know, you're like, man, if it wasn't for me, this my house would have been clean. This person would have been blessed. The same thing is the same where I'm like, you know what? That's where I know I could be a key factor in my city where I'm at and my district that I'm running. Now, here in this part, it has fallen so much that there's a lot of homeless that it hurts me because I want to help. I want to help.
Yeah.
And even with our comfort, and that's the truth that I'm going to tell you. La verdad, I'm going to tell you. Sometimes you don't want to, right? Sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm gonna brush them off, but we can't. We have to do something. We have to apply something. And that's where I want to come in and say, you know what? You can, right? It's just like the people that I grew up with, the mentors that I had. I want to be not just a person that's going to write a bill here in the state. I want to be right in the street where I was with you sharing the gospel. I want to tell you, yes, you can do that. Yes, you can get not just a job, but it's just a temporary thing, right? We all go through seasons on certain things, but I want to not just motivate you, but tell you la verdad, the truth, on what you can be and what you cannot be,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
And
So
that's that. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
No, ya me cortates. You
No,
cut me. Not just
no, come
kidding.
on. I need to say, listen, you bring up a good point. I needed to say this because what I studied poli sci. I've in grad school, and then public justice in undergrad. And all the books I read on politics, right? Anything that I read on studying government, governmental roles, all of those things, the way that the government is, formed and all that, the foundation, everything. So what you're talking about right now, that's supposed to be the duty of these elected officials. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be taking care of your community. That's why you get elected. But our
That's right.
politicians have forgotten that. They get into those positions and then it's them and you. Them and you. There's no more, look, homelessness. You just touched on something. Homelessness right now. People are focusing right now on fentanyl. People are focusing on child trafficking, human trafficking, but people forget about the homelessness. It's a big problem. We have it here in Texas. There's homelessness everywhere. It's all over the country. LA. Obviously, you got it in your area in Arizona. We got it in Texas. It's in New York. It's in Chicago. It's everywhere. So homelessness is a issue that no one seems to want to take care of, talk about. They forgot.
Yeah.
Now what they do is the city councils are passing city ordinances saying, yeah, go ahead. You can live in a tent, instead of saying, okay, do these people have mental issues? Do they just have a bad end of the stick where they need training, education, they lost their job, they got kicked out, maybe they don't have a family, I don't know, whatever, they lost everything, right? Who knows what their situation is. I was in Milwaukee, and one of the things in Milwaukee, I talk about this all the time, the number one concern for the community it wasn't abortion, it wasn't inflation, it wasn't gas prices, egg prices. Their biggest concern was abandoned buildings in their neighborhood that made the neighborhood look ugly. It's like you said, then they don't have pride. They're like, if you walk around, está toda la hierba ahí, buildings are torn up.
Yeah.
You have no pride in your community. You're a product of your community. And so, this is what you're talking about. Instead of what we should be doing is saying, as a governmental role, we should be saying we need to take those buildings and we need to put money into them and make them training centers for the homeless and get them cleaned up, get barbers in there, get them bathed, get them some, hand-me-down clothes, get them interviewed and get them a job. If that's, to get them off the street. If they're not capable of holding a job, then they got mental conditions, then we need to have, buildings where they go in for medical treatment, for mental health treatment, so that they can get cured from that, so that they can go back to the other center to get a job, to have some stability. That's what we need to be doing, is cleaning up. That is supposed to be the job of the community leaders, community elected officials, but they forget. They go and they're like, oh, pues I'm already, now I'm just at my fancy dinners. I go to speak here, speak there. And you forget about the community and you forget about anything to do with the community. And then everything becomes corrupted. They only worry about giving contracts out to their friends, and their friends, get the money, and their friends are the ones that get, certain things. And it becomes a very corrupt system. So what you're talking about is running for office because you don't care to have the suit and the tie and be up in the Capitol every day. You want to be out on the ground with your people of your community, encouraging them that they can get out of poverty. They can get better. They can, get cured. They can, something can be better. And so what you're doing is, that's what politicians were created for, is a true representation of their community, which we've forgotten. So I'll leave you with that. I had to put that in because honestly, that's what you're supposed to do as an elected official. But somehow we've gone, that's not what they do. That's not what they do anymore. So keep going.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. I'm from here, I'm from this barrio. I'm from Mesa, and it's one of those things. It's like my dad. My dad would always tell me this, and which it made sense when I got older. Mijo, do the job right because you're representing me. And at first, I was like, "Dang, are you serious?" Like when I was younger, I was like, "That's kind of harsh." But it's one of those things that like the pride, right? It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I taught you right. I gave you this opportunity to do this, and obviously, it grows even more. I'm a religious man. I'm a Christian man. That I don't no longer just represent my father, but my heavenly Father up and above, right?
Amen.
And if I don't do my job, here's the thing. I'm not gonna go and duck and hide and go to somewhere else. I'm from here.
Right.
I'm standing right next to you. I'm fighting for you, and your abuelita, and everybody else. That's the thing too. That it just kind of. I mean, I get where other people coming from other states and cities and stuff like that want to do. They want to fight, but they in ways they have ideas, but are they genuine ideas? Are they really truly like understanding and actually like again, I don't just want to just talk. I'm here to work.
Right.
Vine para trabajar. Vine so something could look amazing, right? And a lot of people would give me this too because I'm it's funny because I grew up with five brothers and one sister. So all my brothers that would tease me in ways sometimes, manly things, right? Like,
Right.
hey, that's not really. So my point is, the older I got, the more artistic I got. I started painting. I started doing just be more open minded where God could take me, right? And it's just like that. Like we need to um flex and not just flex what we have, our gifts and talents, but wake up other people in it, right? I mean,
Right.
honestly, even just have simple conversations going back to like the homeless and the people out in the streets, gente just walking by. Hey, how you doing? I love your dress. I love the way you look. You look handsome. You look good. I love that shirt, man. Simple
Nobody says those
conversations.
things anymore. We've
Yep.
we've lost the sense of giving compliments to people and making them feel nice about themselves.
That's just something that I share, and there's sometimes there's only very very small rare moments where like the person that I'm complimenting, it's like their ears are like plugged in, but it's because they're obviously thinking all this stuff. But once they hear what I say, hey, you look really pretty, and they're like, wait, what? Me, like me, absolutely. But again, it's just those things. Did you just lose you being a human?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with a lot of these politicians. Dude, I'm gonna push buttons. That's the thing that I'm excited about. I'm gonna push buttons,
Yeah.
not in the wrong way. I want to do. Hey, what is the proper form, right? And as a politician, yeah, there are some ways of doing stuff, but dude, I'm ready to get down and dirty. I'm ready, not just over there in the political realm. Trust me, people are praying for me and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is, hey, I want to be president, and just like other positions I thought of, right? I'm like, man, what if in the future, hypothetically, if I run for mayor, if I run for governor, yeah, don't I don't really care about yes, I do mind no, I don't mind the
That's
corruption,
what you
but
say.
God is behind me. God
Yeah.
uses things to put you in position for His purpose,
Yeah.
and I want to be present. If there's something to do, hey, aquí soy, right here, right? And you need people to take action, and that's what I love, especially growing up in my church. The,
Hmm.
the 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 pastor leads in the front. The pastor doesn't lead in the back. The pastor shows up. The pastor takes the scova, the broomstick, the trapeador, the mapeador, whatever, whichever way you
Yeah.
want to say
Right.
it. But they get involved. They get dirty. Why? Because They love their congregation. They love their people. Just like that. I love my barrio. I love where I come from. I embrace what my ancestors gave me. I embrace where I come from, and to make it look good. I'm a detailer in ways where I'm like, you know what? This doesn't look right. This doesn't look good. And just with politics, I want to make it where other people, la gente, could feel comfortable
Right.
doing other things that, you know what? Yes, I can do it. So we've been lied to a lot of times too. And this is just FYI. Like here in the state of Arizona, maybe I don't know if Texas is like this, but I encourage whoever's paying attention or watching or listening to this, find out what are your qualifications to get into politics or just in the school board.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need much. You don't. And I'm just saying this because it's la verdad. It's the truth that a
Right.
lot of people get cut off. They're just say, oh, you need to do this and that. You need, hey man, God has opened doors for me because I actually took action. Right? Faith without works is dead.
That's
Right?
right.
And if you're not religious, dude, just because the bus stop is down the street, the bus is not going to come and pick you up right here, because you don't want to go to that destination. You have to walk to that bus stop
Yep.
to get on the bus.
That's
The
right.
same thing. The same thing. What we're about. Nobody's going to take road. Nobody's going to take the. And yes, some people are blessed than others, but hey, I'm not looking at that person. I'm looking at myself and what I'm going to do to benefit other people. Aquí estoy right here. I'm honored, and because I got involved, I looked at again the qualifications here in the state of Arizona. Do you know the education? Let me see. The educational background. What do you think it is that you must have to run as governor? Do you just take a good guess
Probably
what
a
you
high
need?
school education.
Yeah, there and just one more. What else? What do you receive when you graduate high school though?
A diploma.
And what is the other one that if you don't get a diploma? What's the other one?
GED. Don't tell me that.
You don't need any of those. You don't need
What?
a high school. You don't need a high school diploma. You don't need a GED. You don't need
Oh,
a
God,
college diploma. You don't need
no.
anything.
That's scary. That
It
is
is. It is. It is. But at the same time, what is stopping you? What is preventing you to get involved?
right.
Right?
Right.
Let's take advantage of it. It's just like us being Hispanic and Latino. What is because we're that, obviously the right now I hate everything's being like segregated, right? It's being labeled this and that and that. But right now I'm saying, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of those points just to prove the fact that it's use it in reverse of what they're saying. Like, oh, you want Latinos? Aquí estoy. You want somebody that comes from a barrio? Aquí estoy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I want to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to use that, but to show our history, show our like again, just the Republican Party. You look at the history of it. What has the Democratic Party have they done to increase or empower people in this country? Nada, zero. It's a
Right.
band-aid. It's
That's right.
and sometimes in the outside you're desperate, right? The stampillas helps you only for beneficial time, just for a brief moment. There's a lot of things out there um, that once you dig in, what the qualifications are, and there's the old school way, right? There was always a what is it called, like uh, when you go and apply for a job, there was
Right.
always two different directions, right? There was like you were self-taught and somebody else vouched for you,
Right.
and you go to that position versus you being educated and then like learning and going through college and stuff like that. And here, just you taking action, like myself, getting involved with politics, seeing firsthand what's going on, going and meeting people out in all throughout Arizona. I've done it a little bit in Texas and stuff like that, and
Right.
just and DC, going out there and talking to people out there. That right there gave me an insight to, you know what, I think a lot more people should be doing this, and they can do it, but we just kind of opinion. Oh, you need help in this area. You're not good in this area. Blah blah blah. And that's, to me, that's BS.
Right.
And it should be criticism, but it should be what is that called? What is that?
It's constructive
criticism. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it should be that. That should be like, hey, like the other day, my brother also told me, he's like, hey, you should practice on your public speaking, because you could go freestyle, right? You could do that, but you could tidy up a little bit, and that's just like in every position that is out there, especially in politics. I'm like, you know what? I not only just want to be involved, I really want to wake up people. I want to influence people. I want to say, you know what? It's time for action, but at the same time, don't be scared,
Right.
Don't,
Right.
and I just like I had a pastor. I helped out a pastor when in
Yeah.
his district, and he's in there, so he's my foot in there as well.
Right.
There's people God puts in position for a reason. But just like right here in Arizona, and not just here in Arizona, you could go there in Texas, you could go to Florida, you could go even in Democratic areas.
Right.
You start taking action, you start just showing up. People are going to start taking you a lot more serious once you do that,
Right.
And again, it doesn't even have to be something crazy. We know this as Latinos and Hispanics. We don't get credit for a lot of things, right? Behind the scenes.
We don't.
But siempre lo hacemos, right? We still do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yep. That's right.
But that right there, and that's the thing where I out of frustrations, I posted this. I'm not trying to attack the party, but just awaken the party. Hey man, take advantage of the Hispanic people. Take advantage of the minorities that are here, that want to take action. I mean, they want to go, again, the legacy of my family there in Texas, and the Alamo. You know how many countries came together to fight in the Alamo?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And there was Tejanos, and obviously they're Mexicanos, but they fought too inside the Alamo against Mexico, right?
That's right.
So
That's right.
it's that same movimiento, that same movement.
Yeah.
Why not embrace what we have here as Americans? Embrace those talents that we have and start winning, right?
That's right.
But and I understand that there are some people, and it's funny because I'm very visual. I visualize a lot of things. I watch a lot of things, not because of my entertainment, but those old movies, we watch, like Braveheart, for example, right? There's
freedom!
Different freedom. There's those clans, those people that were in different areas, right?
Yes.
There were some really wealthy, noble people.
Yes.
And at one point, William Wallace tells the prince then, hey, we don't need the nobles. We don't need them. And he tells him,
I remember him saying,
if we don't start doing stuff with them, we're gonna have enemies on both sides. We need a leader just like you to give that prince, which will become the king, Robert the Bruce, to be the king. Just like that, dude. We need to start taking action and showing it to people. And that's the thing that, like, I'm honored and excited for it. And I'm already past the qualifications. I'm already registered. I'm already there. I'm already getting my signatures, and I'm getting my stuff. I'm polishing what I need, right? I'm getting what I need to move forward with it. But just like the senor, his name is, which you guys could look him up, is David Marshall. David Marshall is a representative in LD7 here in Arizona. He's amazing when he just doesn't preach to the choir, right? He's not just a pastor. He's in there right now fighting for our legislation. He's fighting for the people that are here, fighting for the law enforcement that is here. And that's the thing that we have here. What I really love, because just because, you know, and that's a stereotypical type where they say, well, a lot of the minorities in the hood and stuff like that, they don't like law enforcement. Mentiras, that's a lie.
That's
If
a lie.
if you go here, I would hear, even in the parades, I would see little kids, right, and they're like smiling at the police officers, and then you could hear the parents, "Hey, those are the good guys right there. Those are the good guys right there." And see, and
Right.
that's the thing that you would hear. The same thing with those the actions that you do, the care that we do, that influences, it echoes everywhere. What we do, our investments, what we do, would domino effect everywhere else.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I'm saying, even with the representative that is now the foot in the door for me to be in there. But it's the same thing with my voice, my testimonies that will help wake up, lift up people, encourage them, and not just here. It goes to their job, it goes to their and at first, even for me, I would joke about it because I was like, okay, give on. I said, look, the school board members, right? Nah, that's that like it, and it's because I'm around my family. Nah, it's just chump change. That's nothing. That's what you were saying at the very beginning. Man, we need to get involved in everything. We need to be involved with the ice cream man,
Everything.
the every little thing. Why? Because again, it's
We're
the
part of this country, Edwin. That's why we need to be involved. Because
and
we're
and
part
here
of the country.
and here's the number of population here in Arizona. There's over 7 million. I think because some people are escondidos, they're hiding behind
Oh
the
yeah,
door.
we don't take the
But
census.
our number here is a little over 7 million. Literally over a third of the population here in Arizona are Hispanic, Latino,
Right.
but yet there's not enough of them being involved in
No.
politics.
No, and
And if
there's not true representation.
and if they're not, then they're seated in the opposite party, not doing
Yeah.
anything. Not and this
Not
is where I'm going to
representing
say
our
this.
values.
Even as a Christian, I'm going to say this: not doing a damn thing about it, and that's what is hurting the next generations. It's trapping them. It's putting them in bondage. That is a physical, spiritual thing that needs to be pointed, not just pointed out, but say, hey, you're at where you're at because of what these politicians are doing, and I'm here to tell you no, right?
Right.
And that's the thing that we need to be loud, amplifying the people's voice, not just amplifying it, but stand there firm and say, hey, you can't lie to me, dude. I'm here all the time with you. I'm in those cities. I'm in the area. I'm from here.
So
But
Edwin,
again,
are you targeting not just conservatives? Are you actually talking to just independents and Democrats, and are you just talking to everybody about
I'm
being their
talking to
person, their voice?
I'm talking to everybody.
Good for you.
I look at them as anybody else. I would even look at a politician in my own party and look at them, yeah, in a way of like, man, you would. I wish you would do your job. But in my side, I would look at the person and say, you know what? This guy is very talented, or this woman's very talented. They could be impactful in our state, in our city, in our town, in our country, right? And that's the thing that even going to, again, representing other people in other districts, I got to have those conversations about their medication, right?
Right.
Our parents. That's what worries me is that my parents, they budget. they've always budget. We grew up in the barrio, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. No, you
meditation
have to.
right now is a fear that it comes to them, right? Without even just a daily routine, it'll throw their whole schedule off and their health and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Having those conversations with those people, having those conversations with those people, and saying, hey, let's look at what your party's doing. I'm not just attacking them. It's just saying your representative. What is your representative doing for you? And if they don't have anything, then that's where I'll get to their heart, right? I will get emotional with them, but I will relate to them and say, hey, why not try this other man out or this other woman out that
Yeah.
is running in our state, in our country, or in our, well, specifically in our state, in our area. So
Right.
that's the thing that that's the thing that I do with everybody, no matter where they're at, what party, even like this, as me as a Christian, I cannot go and judge a person that is of a different, not just a race or ethnicity or none of that. Let's get deeper in this.
Yeah.
If I see a person that is of another community, that, let's say the LGBTQ community, I'm not going to seclude them. I'm going to go and talk to them. Hey, how can I help you? How can I like not just relate, but how can I have a conversation with you, right? And obviously, there's always going to be haters everywhere, no matter what it is. But
That's
once
right.
they get who you are and they realize, you know what, I could relate with this person a lot more because they took time to come and talk to me, right? And that's everywhere, and it's just like that with me.
I think
And
people just want to be treated, like you said earlier, like humans.
they do, absolutely. And that's just one of the things that, that encourages me, that hey, enough's enough, enough's enough.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the people that I'm running against, I'm looking at their bills. I'm looking if it's actually benefiting the people or just a temporary thing. Because
Right.
sometimes it makes you think. Sometimes
Yeah.
if it's a good bill, it makes you think, hey, is it really going to benefit the people of my state,
Or
or is
just
it
a
going to just
band-aid.
benefit? So and some of them I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna bite my tongue. Dang, that's a good idea, right? I'm gonna be like, that's a great idea. I'm not gonna even say nothing. I can't. Then I'll become a hater myself. But I'm looking to question them in the future, which I
Mm-hmm.
will, just like
Mm-hmm.
anybody else. Now I'm in that platform where I could say, hey, I viewed your stuff. It didn't go well. I'm now gonna take that and I'm gonna add to that. Thank you very much. I'm not plagiarizing your idea. I'm actually using it to benefit everybody in my state,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that's the thing that, like, and obviously you see some of these other politicians that, like, here in Arizona, we had Christian Cinema that became a Democrat. Now she's independent. Why? Because she served the people. She served the people of Arizona, and they
Right.
started hating on her for that. The same thing with what is it, Tulsi Gabbard's?
Oh
I know a
yeah,
lot of
that's
people
it.
don't like. I
Well,
know a lot
nobody
of people
really
don't
knows.
like
The
her.
thing is, nobody knows where she really stands. Is she just independent as well?
She's independent as well.
Okay. Okay. I
But
didn't know if she
here's the
was
thing.
claiming a party.
Here's the thing with those, and I'm just saying that to myself. I'm I'm always going to be representing God first. That's
Mm-hmm.
foremost. But at the same time, the reason why I represent, and just like my last name, I'm going to embrace my last name is Gonzales. But I'm going to embrace the party that flexed and changed the world, right?
Right.
There was even till now there's still slavery all over the world. There's human trafficking all over the world.
All
I
over.
want to go back to the roots of my party, right?
Mm-hmm.
That actually had the cojones, the of what a representation of a man
Yep.
should be. right?
Yep.
To fight for the body, fight for the country. The same thing here from my body, from where I come from is barrio. Where I come from is my state and city. Is I want to take I want to take care of my own home, right? I want to say, you know what? I could also do what you're doing, put it to action, but actually encourage other people. This is again what we were talking about in one part. It is our job to be doing that stuff. It is
Right.
our job to do things that are. You should be honored to serve.
Right.
You should be like aquí, like again, aquí estoy. I'm right here. I want to do it. And I've had the privilege to working in other places, even with foster care, right? Even with foster kids, I worked with for 5 years. I worked with kids at a group home,
Right.
and if I didn't just give them an encouragement, I wasn't doing my job. If I wasn't being a light to them, I wasn't doing my job. If I had a bad attitude, I wasn't doing my job.
Right.
If I was only there to collect a check, you know how much of
Definitely
those
not.
kids,
Definitely not doing your job.
you know how much of those kids will be really pissed off and mad at me. You're here to only collect the check. You're not here for me. You're not here to spend time with me.
Right.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing too, as a politician, that's what I want to do. I want to do
Right.
that, embrace my job. I want to be here. I want to
Right.
do what I'm here to meant to be. So that's the thing that I want to encourage people. Yeah, I guess as we get tired, of course, but either we take a break or hey, that term was amazing what you did, but pass the baton. Look out for the other person that's beneath you and encourage them and lift up and give them the opportunity. And that's the thing too. I met so many politicians too. I love them, pero siempre they just keep to themselves. They're not motivating really much. Like they
That's
just
what
kind of
I'm
like
saying. They get into position and they're like, we're here and you're there, and you know they don't like for you to visit them. You know they try to push you off with their staff. They get their staff and they're like they tell their staff to like be the liaison, the middle person. You know, all of a sudden it's like, are you
that's me.
representing the community or not representing the community? Because if you're not representing that's not representing the community when you have someone in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And I get that not everyone can come near you, especially if you're in public places. But when you're in your office or out and about in the community working, you should be approachable. You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're a person for the people, then you know people will know that they can approach you. You know, and
Right.
unfortunately, we do live in an age now where you have to also, you know, take care of yourself. But if I
Right.
know you, I know you're a Second Amendment person, so you know you can protect yourself, and that's the
Um
thing.
my ultimate Second Amendment is the Diositos, Jesus Christ.
There
But no,
you go.
I'm not afraid to go where I need to be. It's just like the person that like when I was little, I used to write which is this is the funny part. I never really looked at color, to be honest. I've been to churches that were all they were all hey, and this is where I'm gonna stumble on my words. It was a white church, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't look at that. I didn't look at them like right now. Just describing it. You see how I'm like hesitant to say it's like a black church or Hispanic
Right.
or a white church. But here's the thing with that. When I was at a place, I would have a bike, a beach cruiser, like a cholo style beach cruiser, and people were saying, "Hey, lock it up or put it away because you know." And I will look at them and I'll say, "Hey, if they really needed it, it's theirs. They could take it. They really needed it." The same thing with this right now. I'm not afraid to be in public. If it was my time to go, hey, here I come, Lord. I'm gonna be ahí over there in heaven bailando contigo. You know, like I shouldn't be afraid. I shouldn't be taking like, and that's the thing too. Even our founding, going back to our founding fathers, my ancestors, they took
Mm-hmm.
action knowing what the risk was. They're in
Right.
Texas. They took action against a country, supposedly you know where they're from, the Mexico. Hey, they took action of that because they felt that, you know what, this is our home and we need to fight for it.
Well,
Same
they
thing
were
with my
running from a
ancestors.
tyrannical. They were running away from a tyrannical dictator, which was Santa Anna.
Yeah, and here with my mama, for them to be fighting in the war, right? They knew what was to come. They knew the
Mm-hmm.
consequences, but they fought for, guess what? For myself and my nieces and all the other new generations to come, to have an opportunity to be something here in this country. And that's the
Right.
same thing with everything else that echoes. Again, everything echoes. It's your actions that could save the next generation. Is your actions that could kill the next generation as
Yeah,
well.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
So
So Edwin, tell us again, what is the LD that what number, where are you at? What is the district again? And definitely let us know, how do people, find you? Where do they go follow you? How do they donate? How do they get involved? If they're in Arizona and they want to go help you out in the community, how do they get involved?
okay, so as of right now, I'm still getting started.
Okay.
I'm actually the first one in my district to put in for the race. If you guys don't know, but the House, the legislation position is only 2 years, so
Okay.
it comes and goes really fast.
Yeah.
So I'm even surprised even those guys that are in there right now haven't even put a bid for themselves. Because it's so fast. But so what you can do is find me on my social media. So I'm Edwin Gonzales on Facebook. On Instagram is Martian Man, which is hilarious. But
Martian Man.
Martian Man, yeah. And that's a different story. That's another story. But that just goes with my relationship with God. And no, it's not a conspiracy theory. Just just a name. It's
Okay.
Martian is not of this world. As a Christian, as a Christ follower, we're not of this world. So that's where
Wow.
that name comes
Okay.
from.
Okay.
But going back, if you guys could find me there, probably in the next few weeks, I will have everything up. I will have a website up. I'm gonna have the social media platforms up, and I'm gonna have a lot of things where you could not just have a meet and greet, but
Mm-hmm.
let's plan. Let's plan. Let's even flex the churches in the neighborhoods. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Yes,
organize
the church
outreach.
has to be that her church has to be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And and
good
and
for
and
you.
that's where I want to put those churches on their toes too. Hey, we're in your
Good.
neighborhood. Would you like to help? See, no, you guys keep your doors closed and know where your church is doing, right? And
Yep.
I know it's gonna hurt people, but that's just the way we should be doing,
It's the
caring
truth.
for each other.
It's the truth.
Yeah, and so um Legislative District 9 is actually one of the smallest. I'm blessed to have it. After working in one district that was literally 50% of the entire state of Arizona.
Wow.
The same population that's in that district is over 200,000. In my district, which is West Mesa, half the city of Mesa,
Uh-huh.
it has the same population as that that half of that other district that is half the state. So just imagine how many people I got to come to in
Right.
person.
Right.
And West Mesa is I know it's what it sounds, but West Mesa's barrio. It's where the forgotten, right?
Right.
Um, it's the community that I'm here, and I want to empower them. I want to encourage them. I want to lift them up. So
Right.
if you are wanting to be a part of something that is not just talk, aquí estoy. Meet up with me. If you want to build up something, just like how I got the opportunity to work with these other candidates from other
Right.
districts, that's where it gave me the skill to be where I'm at, and the just the opportunity to be represented right now. um come here, have that growth. Let's put things to the test, and it will get you from doing, again, things from the behind the scenes.
Right.
I mean, you campaign, or you helped out with the right, you also did Latinos for Trump too, right?
So I'm actually the president of Latinos for Trump, the organization. We're not the campaign. So yeah, we started the movement. We started the movement back in 2016, and in 2018, we filed to become an actual organization out of the state of Texas. So we actually
Nice.
have Latinos for Trump, and we have Latinos for America First as well. So we have two.
All
We have
right.
the two organizations. Yeah.
But just like those, and I'll say this to close. Just as much as all the people in my past that gave me opportunities, I want to
Mm-hmm.
be that for other people. If you are
That's awesome.
open to get involved, I'm here, and I will
That's awesome.
break down everything. I will go side by side with you. This is not a everything is an opportunity. There's no cost. There's no fees. There's nothing. um, just like, again, my mentors and my dad and everybody else that taught me a talent or a gift, or something that gave me an improvement of something that I do know now, the knowledge that I know now. Nobody charged me. It was just
Right.
that I was willing to learn. And the same thing, if you're willing to learn and be here and try it out, come and check it out. If you want to um, have that opportunity to even, and here's the wrap up of what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you don't need to go to college for specific things. You want to get involved. I know there's specifics, yeah, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on people's toes, or degrees. But right now, how college, the universities are, how they're just telling you, hey, go this, and then and it redirects you somewhere else. The stuff that I'm
Yeah.
in, and it's because of other people gave me the opportunities. In the same way, you get involved and just watch those opportunities open. Networking comes with showing up, and if
Yep.
you get to meet the right people, sometimes you don't need certain degrees. Those people will be there and say, hey, you want to try, here's your opportunity, right? And that's
Yep.
the thing too, that I want everybody, anybody that is around me, that's how we should be, and that's how I am.
Right.
I'm a door. I'm I'm a big man that I don't need a push a door open to break it to have it open. I'm
Right.
here to say, hey, here's another way to you could get to where you need to be, and I'm excited to see who you are. If not, then it's all right. Then just don't be upset with me. Um, don't throw eggs, because the eggs are very important right now. um,
That's funny. That's funny. Well,
but yeah,
from Latinos for America First, we are proud, and we definitely, support you and all that you do. And what you know how to get hold of us. You know how to get hold of me. You know where we're at. And I'm sure that I'm gonna be visiting Arizona, soon. And so when I do, I'll give you a call and come visit your, community and stuff, and go out with you, and, take a look at what it is you're looking to represent. So, definitely, we're here to help you and guide you in any way. We love to mentor people, train people, educate people, the same thing. I would like to think that our team has a wealth of knowledge, for people and stuff. And so, you got to do self-improvement, and, if you're going to promote self-improvement to your own community, you have to be willing to do it too. So we are
right.
always learning. Listen, we're always learning. I don't know everything. I really don't, but I'm always learning from people. And I'm always, I've been blessed to get put in front of people that I learn from all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm degreed, and I used to be that way. I was like, I don't need to learn anything from you. I thought I knew everything, but you don't know everything in this world. And so, when there's people that come around, Edwin, like you just said, hey, you've been blessed to have been mentored by people, and they gave you a wealth of knowledge. And I think that's the same thing, that you can do as well, is look to people that will do right now the same thing for you as you run in this, in this district, and look for people that will mentor you, give you, good advice, and that are, that are going to be on your side. You don't want to be associating with people that are, that are not going to be on your side. But definitely, there's a lot of good patriots in Arizona. That there's a lot of good patriots in Arizona.
Absolutely.
So I'm really happy for you. I'm glad that you came on tonight on Stand Up, Stand Out America. And, that you can always find us, brother. So I thank you so much again, guys. Edwin Gonzales out from LD9. Did you say it was 9? LD9 in Arizona, guys. If you guys live in the Mesa area, you got to look for Edwin, find him on any of his social media platforms, reach out, help him. Everything counts. Every person counts. And hands off to you for doing what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Peace out, dude. Peace out, brother.
Later.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thank y'all for coming on Stand Up, Stand Out America. Join us next week again with yours truly, La Conservadora Tejana, Bianca Gracia.